Hello everyone, and welcome to the penultimate episode of my classic career mode. Hey, today around the Circuit of the Americas. This is the second to last episode of this career mode, so if we do win here today, or I think it's like get 8th or higher, we do actually win the championship. So it doesn't really matter what Mansell does either, so we do win the championship. But I will now hand over to the grid presentation for the penultimate Grand Prix of my classic career mode. Here we are then for the grid of the penultimate race of Classic Career Mode as the 5 green lights come on now. We've got 4, there's 5 lights. It's lights out and away we go for the circuit, for the American Grand Prix even. Messed that up. As our teammate gets off to a very poor start, we go right to the back of Schumacher as he blocks us there, going into the first corner. Can we go round the outside of everyone into this first corner? Maybe no, we've been pushed a bit wide there by our teammate. We've lost place to Scheckter all of a sudden. And now Coulthard has gone through from nowhere, and he's got third as well somehow, as Schumacher and Irvine break really early there into those corners, and we're now up into third place here. So this has been a very good start for myself, gaining 2 positions. Obviously there, as you can see, that's a perfect example of what the AI do when they're on the inside of the corner on this game. It was a really weird thing that the AI did on this game. It was really annoying, and on 2014 as well. But coming down now to the back straight here at the Circuit of the Americas, we're right behind David Coulthard now. Can we possibly get a better exit on him here? We have done, he's ran wide a little bit there. Can we possibly get a better exit here? We've got better engine, I'm assuming, because that's an older car. As we're now going side by side down this straight here. And we've managed to get past him. He's for some reason gone really defensive, even though nobody's behind him. But still, we've braked really late, we've ran really wide, we've lost the back end. We've gone really wide, and on 2013, of course, the when you go off track, it kind of, you know, it kind of slows you down automatically for some reason. Ignore that corner cut. Kind of had to do it because Coulthard was there. But we've kept second place, luckily. Moving on to lap 3 now. As you can see, there's a massive gap back to Coulthard. There's a huge train behind him as well. There's a Coulthard train. Who remembers the trolley trains? Because I do. Moving on now to lap 3 anyway. We're now right behind Nigel Mansell, tucked into the slipstream of his car. We're going to go down the inside here, really tight on the back straight, as we now brake really early into this corner and we get the move done. Really, really lovely there, and that was a great move there for myself.
Radar suggests light rain in around 15 minutes. It looks like we might be getting light rain in 10 minutes. Light rain.
So, for the first time in this classic career mode, rain will actually affect the Grand Prix. And as I come in for my first pit stop now, as I was coming into the pit lane, I noticed it was raining. So, it's a big mistake on my part. Obviously, I'm coming in to fit the dry tyres, and all the guys behind me have already stopped. So, well, Villeneuve hasn't, but Mansell has, so that's why he's so far behind me. But there will be light rain in this Grand Prix, apparently. So, coming out of the pit lane now, we are really far ahead in first place, as per usual, in this career mode for some reason. Coming out in first place on lap 11. The back end stepping out on me there a little bit. And moving on to lap 12 now, or lap 13 as we go on to now. Getting a great run through the final corner as we go on to set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix of a 1:42.9. So obviously the rain isn't affecting us yet. So moving on to the end of lap 13 now, going to the beginning of lap 14. We come across the line and set another fastest lap, which is a 1:42.4. So obviously the rain isn't affecting us yet, but it might do soon as we move on to the end of lap 14, start of lap 15. We now set another fastest lap of 1:42.3, so gradually getting quicker. And as we now cut on to lap 17 now, moving on to lap 18. I thought at this point, obviously I haven't played this game in a while, and the weather is obviously different to 2016. So I thought this was the point to go on to the Inters, and I mean, you can judge for yourself whether it is or not. But I thought it was the right time to go on to the Inters. You know, obviously the AI haven't come in yet, so obviously I'm first, so I don't know if it was the actual good choice. But doing a 5.5 second pit stop there, coming out the pit lane, still in first. So hopefully this tyre strategy works out, this gamble works out anyway.
The track is looking pretty dry now. You should pit in and fit the dry compound.
Well, it appears at that point, anyway, just after the pit stop, that it wasn't the right choice, but I decided to stay out on them anyway, stick it out. And as you can see here on lap 23, going to lap 24 now, coming for another pit stop, because my intermediates kind of wore out a lot faster because it was technically on a dry track. So, you know, obviously it was the right decision to stick it out on the intermediates. So coming in for another set of intermediates now, and hopefully we can still get out in first place. I will let you know that Mansell did close up for me quite a lot when I was on the inters on a dry track, but he then pit a couple laps later for the inters, so he was a whole pit stop behind me at this point. And as we now come around the long right-hander here at Circuit of the Americas, lapping Gerhard Berger, who's not giving us an easy time. You know, blue flags. I mean, come on! I feel like Sebastian Vettel all of a sudden. He's gone into us. So that was nice of a lap car. But coming on the final corner now to win the American Grand Prix and also take the World Championship in this race. What a season! So here we are then, the final race classifications, and I finished 34 seconds ahead of Nigel Mansell, and then a further 1 minute and 3 seconds ahead of my teammate, so he didn't really have a good race. Eddie Irvine finished in 4th, then Schumacher, Coulthard, Prost, Ralf Schumacher, Gerhard Berger, Jean Alesi, Capelli and Scheckter DNF'd. So Scheckter really hasn't had a very good end to the season, the second half of the season, because if you remember in the first race, he scored a podium. So God knows what happened to him in this race, or in the season even. But yes, with this victory, it means that we are crowned champions of this mini-series that I decided to do. Mansell cannot catch us now. As we move on to the driver's standings then, take a look at the gap, which is 53 points. So we cannot be caught now. Hope you all enjoyed this series anyway. It was kind of like a filler, because my 2016 career mode ended early, sadly, because of the issues that I had on the PC version. I decided to do this, and also because they announced classic cars were back in 2017. So I decided to do it just as a little mini series. Capelli getting 9 points there. Hope he can get double figures in the last race. But hope you all did enjoy this episode. Please do leave a like and a comment. I will see you next time for the finale of the classic career mode here on my channel in Brazil. Goodbye.